And there's probably nothing more fun than new gear.
He's been running round all day trying to fuck around.
Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Today so far was an extremely busy day. Really hectic, a lot of things. Very complicated.
I don't know, guys. I'm just a boy from Ohio living life. Roll the clip.
A lot of business stuff. Absolutely no moment of rest. So really just the entire day work, work, work. Studio construction is on hold. Still need to cover the absorbers here and also upstairs in the big studio. So I thought since this day was so hectic and busy, why not do something fun? Like really fun. And there's probably nothing more fun than new gear. I got these two bad boys already a while ago and we'll just unbox them and test them a little bit, play around with them. One is a drum machine, the other one is synthesizer. So yeah, unboxing first.
Trying to bring it your way, he says, don't be so defensive. I'm trying to bring it your way.
This one right here is the DrumBrute, as it says, analog drum synthesizer, so it is actually creating the sounds in the machine. You don't need a computer, you can plug a computer in here. There's a USB connection, a MIDI in and out, clock in and out, and then separate channels for all of the drum elements, a mix out, level out, 3.5 jack, and the 1/4 jack, and yeah, a classic analog drum synthesizer. You might be already familiar with the 808, 909. It's very similar, just like in a new shape with a little bit more functions, slightly different sound, but basically you can select here your elements, kick 1, kick 2, snare, clap, rim, clav, and the hi-hats and toms and everything. You can select like the tone of it, the loudness of it. Certain elements have different settings. For example, the closed hi-hats have decay and pitch and volume. The snare, for example, also has a snap tone, and you can also mix in the drum tone to the snare. So all in all, really cool. You got here the step sequencer, so you can see if you just hit play that, for example, the kick is now hitting every bar with 125 beats per minute. So maybe the best way to find out how it works and how it sounds is just to play around with it a little bit. For example, right now the kick is just playing. You can see it going through here. It should start now at 1. Yep, there we go. The 4 kicks are in here, and you can change the level. It's just like how loud the kick is. And then, for example, the decay, make it really short or really long. And then the pitch, the usual. You can even go so high that it doesn't even sound like a kick anymore. And then the impact, which is basically adding a lot of click and attack to the kick. So maybe right here, if you go too high, pops the speaker a little. And then I already added a snare to it. Same here, the snap level, make it brighter or less bright, decay, tone. And as always, you can hit mute, select your elements. For example, now I muted the snare, also the kick. I can unmute the kick, and maybe, for example, instead of a snare, we could add a clap. Maybe make it a tiny bit houseier. Some closed hi-hats. Also here we can change the pitch. And the decay is a lot of fun to create kind of rising sounds. Then you got high and low toms. Same here with the pitch. You could of course just hit record, play along, you can activate the metronome. There are effects up here, a high pass filter with the cutoff, the master volume, repeat buttons. If you hold them down it repeats a note in quarters, 8, 16 and 32s. Then you got of course the swing to just give it a little more groove. You can choose between 50 and up to 75. And then of course the songs, bank and pattern, where you can select different sounds, songs, predefined kind of programmed drum grooves. So who is this fun music drum making machine for? I'd say for people that are into analog gear, into the analog sound of drums, that love the 909, 808. This is a very inexpensive alternative. If you're more into a clean pop kind of sound, I won't see this really being used on such kinds of tracks. It's more really like for the tech house, techno, more underground or more old school kind of sound. And of course live playing, you got all of those outputs, and with the pattern mode, it just screams for people abusing this live, routing every single element to a mixer, further manipulating the sounds. So yeah, absolutely, definitely a cool device that I will play around with a lot more. But now let's actually get to the MicroBrute. This right here will be a whole lot of fun. Analog synthesizer, monophonic, probably good for like bass and lead sounds, simple bass and lead sounds. I think this is really good for learning how a synthesizer actually works. You got right here your oscillators, the filters, the envelopes. We even got an LFO and a sequencer, which is quite nice to have on such a small device. So let's just test it a little. So with the oscillators we can manipulate the sound. And then of course with the cutoff, cutting away the top frequencies, or switching to band pass, maybe a little less resonance, and then the low pass. And again the sequencer is really cool. It's a simple one, but you can just switch it to a play, and it has different patterns from 1 to 8. And you can switch here at the rate. And then also shape the envelope. And also activate the LFO. Again, yes, a whole lot of fun. You can mess around with it, experience how a synthesizer works, make raw and simple sounds. There's even like a little patch bay up here where you can route sounds. So extremely cool. Again, for the price, for the size, it's definitely something you should check out if you're into an analog small synthesizer, kind of your first baby steps. It's cool, build quality is nice, can't complain about it, again for the price point. And yeah, 2 new cool additions to my studio. We'll just maybe put them there or there, but first finishing building the studio. And yeah, for the rest of the day maybe playing around a little with it and trying to make like a raw, deep underground techno track. I mean, those two and you get everything you need.